welcome to the healing bench. Today on the desk here we have a very nice turntable. It is a dual 1229 turntable, and what I have here is the service manual for the 1219. They're mechanically similar, but the difference is this one does not have a strobe for the speed. And as you can see, the turntable itself is very greasy. All of the old grease has turned to glue. It's very gummy. I'm not sure if this had been worked on before. I'll have to take it apart one by one to check. But I can see some screwdriver marks, like over here on the motor itself, because we will be rebuilding this motor. This section is the power switch for the motor. When you turn it on, the motor is only supposed to spin when the switch is turned on, but unfortunately the mains capacitor in here has shorted. So what happens is when you plug this turntable in, the motor will immediately spin. We don't want that, so we're going to rebuild it and we're going to replace the mains capacitor in here. Okay, so we've replaced the old capacitor here, and we've put in a modern equivalent replacement for it. Now, just to confirm our findings here, we have the multimeter set for capacitance, and let's see how it reads. So it's basically a short. It's 0. And if we go to resistance, it is showing yeah, we consider that a dead short. Let's turn it around. Yep, so that is a shorted capacitor. So we have the turntable turned right side up again. I've plugged in the power connector, and we can see here when I turn it on, the motor does not spin. It only spins when I engage the start. So the motor turns the idler wheel, and the idler wheel turns the bladder from the inside. I can feel a lot of vibrations from the motor. So I guess we really need to rebuild the motor for great functionality. Okay, everyone, so we have made progress on the turntable. I've jerry-rigged the cable for now because the cartridge sled does not have enough contacts. What I am going to focus on today is the bearing for the tonearm. Now we can see the bearing here, and it is chowdered. This is supposed to be a slotted screw head with a bearing point, and it got broken. Not sure how they broke this, but it's broken now. So what I need to do is I will have to manually saw that and give it a new slot. Now I have the motor out here with me. It is a substantial unit. The torque is very high, so it would be understandable if this unit vibrates, but it should not be vibrating as much as we have it, so we're going to clean it up. So we've managed to take apart the motor, and I can see that the bearing is completely dry. So both of the bearings were completely dry. I'm going to refill this with proper oil, and we can see there is some rust or corrosion on the motor itself, and some that we can see in here. Now what we can do is we can clean this up and make it look brand spanking new again. Gentlemen, welcome back. So we have the new chassis on the turntable now, and it's looking very good. I got a new tonearm with working and intact adhering ring, so now we can switch between multi and single, and that works perfectly. The anti-skid works great, so now if you zero it, it goes to 0. Everything else is fine. I have gotten this turntable to run. It ran very well. It measured okay, but I thought there could be some more improvements that I can do to improve the score. So I have polished the brass pulley, and it came out looking very good. So what I did was I used one of these. It's a steel wool, fine one, and you use this steel wool to polish metal. So this has been polished. It looks very shiny. Look at that. And also I have redressed the idler wheel, made it round again. The improvement on the speed from these two alone is very small. But what I need to do now is to rebuild the motor. So the motor has not been rebuilt yet. The condition of the motor is a lot better than the other one, the one that we started out with, the original one, the greasy one. I suspect this will be a lot better once we have rebuilt the motor. Alright, let's go. While I'm taking this out, I make sure I don't actually touch the sides of the idler wheel, because that is the side or the area that touches the spindle here, and also the rim drive for the platter. The moment we've all been waiting for. So we can see again the polished spindle. It looks absolutely beautiful. But what I am most interested in is the condition for these rubber bushing for the motor. And the motor is actually not coupled to the screws here. The screws are actually attached to this big rubber piece down here. And what it does is it would absorb the vibration of the motor and does not transfer it into the chassis and ultimately going up into your cartridge. So what we have to do now is take out these two screws and take out both sides of the clamp. We are going to check the condition of the bearing up here and also down here. If the bearings are good, then we'll have to clean it up and put in new oil. Aha! Okay, I just noticed something. So see, look at the two nuts. One protrudes a bit, the other one does not. And I see some screw marks over here. I don't know, this is factory or it has been rebuilt before, but either way we can take it out and clean it up. This one has a lock washer, this one does not. I'm not sure why. So the gap is relatively similar. Either way, Yeah, I think I'm gonna hammer it a bit. But don't be alarmed, we're not gonna go 200-pound gorilla on it. This is a very small hammer. This is a screwdriver. What I'll be doing is I'll be hammering very gently around the periphery like this. And what it does from the shock, we're not actually pushing it that way, but from the shock we are going to release the clamp from the motor. So it's fairly simple. You just do this. We're not even clamping the motor, we're just hammering it that way to shock the clamp. And one way you want to measure your progress is you have your caliper from earlier and just check. So it has loosened up there slightly, not actually trying to hammer it open. Then we'll try with our hands, not budging yet, and then we hammer bit by bit. So we can see one side has opened. What I'm trying to do is hammer up that side so we got both of them open. Okay, now the motor will open up just like a clamshell, just like that. And we can see here, this is the oil reservoir for the motor, and it looks like it's dry. So we're going to clean that up and put in fresh new oil. Yeah, I think this is good. You can see they have balanced the rotor by drilling out holes, and what they do is this would spin at high speeds, just like how you would balance a car tire. Instead of adding weights on the wheel rims, you drill out metal from the actual rotor itself. And then we can see here, these are the actual laminations, and it looks beautiful. Yeah, there is some oil in there, but we'll try to clean it out and put in fresh new oil, see how it performs. Now I'm touching this motor and it feels bone dry. There's no oil residue at all on my fingers. So this motor has been running dry, but there are no rust. There's no signs of rust like the other motor from the original turntable. Now what I have here is motor oil, to be precise, compressor oil, and it is a good lubrication for motors like this. So now I am spraying this with pure alcohol, and I got myself some toothpicks. I'm gonna break it in half. Now I have double the size, double the real estate, and then you just do this. Get some paper towels, wipe it, and then assess. Okay, so you can see we have some surface rust here. I also have this cotton wool. We'll follow up with that. How does that look? It's actually shiny. Okay, I'm gonna use this brush and clean it out. Look at that. Look at how clean that is. It looks very good. And let's do some housekeeping. Always keep your station clean because you don't want to cross-contaminate. What people said to me before was, you cannot go halfway. You cannot try, okay, I have done this, but I've yet to do this other stuff, but it's running okay. It will not run okay unless everything is running absolutely. So that's why we are going to do this the right way. This will actually take a lot of oil because this whole space is a reservoir. It has a felt liner inside, and there is actually a thrust washer down here. From what I see, the condition is okay, so we can just keep it as it is. So now we are probably at the most challenging part of the service, and it would be actually putting the motors back. This has very high tolerance. They want to go back in a specific way, and we have to allow them to go back in a specific way. Now what I have here are two clamps. We'll be clamping the motor gently, and we'll be alternating it from left and right, so it would go in straight. Now the motor feels a lot more smoother. So that is one rebuilt motor. So now what we're going to do, we'll be attaching the motor back to the chassis. Okay. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking out the cable here, the power cable, and while I'm here, this is a great opportunity for me to replace the power cable, because the power cable looks okay, but the plug head here, I've noticed a crack, and also it's very old. So we can replace it with a modern one, something like this. But I do have some new plugs that not only like this, but it also has a neon, a small neon bulb in here. That way we will know if the turntable is turned on from the power switch, because when this turntable is just sitting there not doing anything, we have no indication whether it's plugged in or turned on or not. So with the power plug with the neon bulb in here, we'll at least know if it's turned on. Going deeper into the wiring, we can see the original electrolytic capacitor for the power switch here, and these do tend to go bad. The original turntable we started out with has a bad capacitor. It gets shorted. What's also cool about this unit is under the switch cover here, we have the wiring diagram for the voltage. If you're in America or maybe Japan, you will use the 110, 135 volts. Or if you're in Malaysia or other European countries with 220 or 240 volts, you will use the wiring on the right. And what we have here is the wiring for the 220 volts. And also while I'm here, it's good to do some housekeeping, because I noticed in the strobe here, there is some sort of flake or a piece of paper, and you can see like a small dot somewhere around here. So cleaning the strobe is quite easy. I have here isopropyl alcohol, spray it a bit, and just wipe down the lens. This is a circular kind of connector, but then somebody mentioned it looks a lot like Molex, and I do have some Molex connectors. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if these look similar, and if they are, I'm gonna try and replace them. All right. Well, what do you know? They are the same. Okay, so I got the power cables crimped, and I took out the earth wire, because we do not connect the turntable to the earth. It will be grounded to the phono stage of your amplifier, or phono amplifier, or preamplifier. This way we will reduce ground loops in the system. And as for the connection of the power plug itself, previously we have this non-polarized 2-pin plug, and we are going to be using a UK style plug. What this means is we want the live wire to go into the switch, and the switch actually goes to connector number 2. That means brown goes into number 2, blue goes to pin number 4. Okay, as we can see, the power connector does work. It is a little tight, but I think it's okay. It's not going anywhere. So if anybody out there is wondering whether or not we can use a Molex connector for these dual power supplies or power cables, the answer is yes, we can actually use Molex. I think what I'm gonna do is just mark one of this red. The other one does not have a mark. It's already black. So we're gonna identify left and right based on this. So now we have soldered both of the cables, and now we have to test the continuity. I got it on continuity mode, so when we touch the probes, let's check for any shorts. No shorts. That's also good. Now, I can't find a suitable strain relief, but I found this heavy duty zip tie. While we're here, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace this power capacitor. We have replaced the old capacitor and use a modern equivalent. Okay, change of plans. So for the clamp, we are using this box of assorted clamps. If this doesn't work properly, let's say you turn on the power switch, it does not lock. You're gonna have to bend this tab either that way or that way. So finally, it is way past 4 a.m. The measurements are looking very good. What I have done, I took out the main ball bearing, cleaned it out with pure isopropyl alcohol, reassembled everything, re-lubricated it, this one as well. So as we can see, the power plug has a neon indicator. We have new RCA cables. I'm gonna put it back in the case. I'm gonna test it again. So I got a bunch of stuff from Audio Vault. This is the synthetic blend lube. This is for the spindle bearing. We have got the ball bearings for the main platter. The material is impregnated with lube, so these are dry run bearing lubes. Comes with instructions, but of course we've been taking apart this thing over and over again. We can do it with our eyes closed, but still this is good. The Steuerpimples, this would be great. And of course I have another friend with a dual 701 who's interested in getting this as well, because his turntable is running okay, but it does not have the automatic functionality. And now PS the resistance. So we have a new idler wheel also from Audio Vault. It comes with its own hardware. 2 washers and O-ring retaining ring. So all these stuff will be in the next video. For this video, we're only restoring this to its factory specification. No upgrades yet, just factory. So now what we are going to do is we will be changing up the Steuerpimple. So we got the new ones and this is the old one. I'll pick it out and show you guys how crusty it looks. Condition is still okay, I think. Okay, that should do it. Okay, everything is looking good. So if we lift the tonearm lever here, it stays up, and if we move it, it starts to spin. I'm looking at the strobe here. The strobe looks okay. And if we go to stop, also okay. Lower it down. Currently it has no cartridge here. That is moving so good. I'm very pleased. Okay, let's put it on the rack and see how it looks.